Hey, my name is Rodrigo, and I'm backpacking through America, and I'm also a part of Love New York. And I wanted to share a quick testimony. It's about a letter that we got in the Metro when we were doing Metro Church. So what happened is the first day when we were heading out from NYSUM to the fire base, which is J-Hop, we were heading out there, for all the training and all that. At 6 a.m., we decided to do Metro Church on the train because, why not? And so we're in there, we're like going after it, but it's 6 a.m. So everybody in the train is asleep. It's just like falling asleep and all that. But we just keep going after it and just keep going after God and just worshiping Him. And this guy taps me on the shoulder, and as I turn, he gives me this piece of paper. And as I tried to turn more to see who it was, he just walked out, it just stopped. So he just left the train and he just left me with this piece of paper. So I opened it and there was this letter from him. And it said, hey man, at first I was super offended of what you were doing and how loud you were being in the morning train. But then I heard the lyrics of your song and how it was about Jesus. And then I felt God touch me. And I just want to let you know that it was what I needed today. And then it said at the bottom, P.S., don't stop. And then he signed it. And so then we were like super excited about it because we're like, oh, this is so awesome, so encouraging. And so we like passed the letter around and we were all taking pictures of it and just posting it, blasting it on social media, And it was just so encouraging. And everywhere we went, we just shared that with people, just to encourage them to do Metro Church and how it impacts everybody. And so then, the days, go on and you're doing outreach and all that. And so we were, just kind of tired looking for a break. And so then we decided, one of our leaders called us and he was like, hey, do you guys want to come out ice skating with me? And we were like super stoked because he's one of our leaders. So we were like, yeah, man, we want to come out ice skating with you. So me and my friend Terry, who's backpacking with me through America. And so we were super excited about going and we're like talking about it. We're like, yeah, it's gonna be so cool. It's our first time ice skating. We're talking about like what we were gonna do, just making fun of each other, poking fun of each other. Like, oh, you're gonna fall, it's gonna be so funny. So we're getting ready, and as we're getting ready, he calls me, our leader calls us, and he's like, hey guys, I just wanna let you know, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense for you guys to come just because it's gonna be like a couples thing. And you guys, you guys are single, you guys don't have any dates. So then we were like, oh no, we were so bummed because we had gotten so excited about going. So we were just sitting in the room like so bummed. And then we were like festering about it. We're like, oh man, I wish we had dates to go. So then we're just there and we're just like, we look at each other and we're like, let's just go downstairs and like just ask, one of these awesome girls out to go ice skating. Like, why not? So then we go downstairs. And we find this girl and we're like, my friend goes up to her, Terry, and he's like, hey, do you want to go ice skating with me? And she was like, yeah, that sounds like fun. So then I was like, hey, do you have a friend maybe that wants to go ice skating too? So she was like, yeah, let me go upstairs and get her. So she went upstairs and got her. And so we got these two beautiful dates, super awesome women of God to go with us ice skating. And so we go ice skating. And then the rink is closed. Like, they had closed down the ice skating thing. So we're standing there and we're like super bummed again because we didn't go ice skating again. And we got dates and everything. And then we're like, let's just not waste the night and just, go out for something to eat and then just go back to the fire base and go on some outreaches. And so we're heading down, Times Square, just trying to find somewhere to eat. And the girls were like, hey, there's some guys doing some crazy dance here. Like, they're flipping all over the place. We want to go see them. And so me and my friend Terry were like, we don't want to go see some guys dancing. But the girls were like super stoked about it. So we went with them. And then me and my friend Terry were trying to get back and just like do outreaches. But the girls were like, no, we want to witness to these guys. And we were like, oh, okay. But then they ended up talking to some women and we ended up talking to the guys. And we ended up just sharing God with them. And just like one of the guys who was the main leader, he got healed from his back and like God just touched them. And then the other guys just started coming up and just saying like, hey, can you pray for me? Can you pray for me? So we were like praying for them and just asking the Holy Spirit to baptize them. And it was just so awesome. And then the craziest thing happened. Like when they left, we stayed there on their spot and I had a guitar and then I strummed my guitar and I made this song. And the song says, hey, you there, I got something to tell you about this crazy love. His name is Jesus. So I strum the guitar and I point at the first person I see, who's this tall gentleman, and he's walking with a shorter gentleman. And so I point at him and I say, hey, you there, I got something to tell you about this crazy love. And when I say crazy love, he's about here. And he's like, what crazy love? He turns around and I say, his name is Jesus. And he gets so pumped and he's like, yeah, Jesus. And then the other guy turns around, the guy he's with, he turns around and his jaw drops and he's like, that's the guy. That's the guy. He just starts telling the other guy, that's the guy, man, that's the guy. So then I'm like, what's going on? So then they run up to me and they're like, you're the guy. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then the shorter guy, he was like, you're the guy, man, you don't remember me? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? And he was like, you were doing worship on the metro, right? And the train. And I was like, yeah, I do it all the time. And then he's like, you don't remember me? And I was like, nah, man, I'm sorry, I don't remember you, because we do it all the time. And then he's like, I'm the guy that gave you the letter. And so now my jaw drops, and I'm like, what? That's the guy from the letter. So I tell Terry, that's the guy from the letter. So then I'm like, can I take a picture with you? So I take a picture with him. And then he's like, I need a picture with you. So he takes a picture with me. And then he tells me this. He's like, I took a picture of you doing worship in the train and I blasted it on social media, just blasted it. And all my friends were encouraged by it because he was saved and all his friends were saved. So he was like telling us how they were all encouraged to go out and evangelize because we were out there worshiping Jesus on the train. And then I proceed to tell him about how the letter impacted so many people in sharing the gospel as well. So then he told me, he was like, there's something I didn't put in the letter. And I was like, yeah, what is that? And he was like, I was in the back of the train, man. And when you sang those lyrics about Jesus, Holy Spirit just fell on me and I started weeping. I just started weeping and the Holy Spirit told me, you need to do this. You need to do this in your city. You need to share the gospel. And so he was so broken. And so that's why he ran off the train. And he just like handed me this letter because he couldn't talk. He's just so broken by it. And so we got to share this awesome time with these awesome Christians and just to encourage them as they encouraged us as well. And I just want that to encourage you. So let the encouragement continue. And just keep sharing the gospel of Jesus because it changes everything. And so that's it. Yeah, love you guys.